everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Casa Granada, which is a mini album that we are making. This is a design project for Scrap and Create, and you can get all your supplies there. I'll have links down below, and there will be a link down below to the cutting guide for this project. So last time we embellished, our pages are done, we embellished. I did make my cover off camera. The cover pieces are 8.5 by 8 3/4, and it has a 3-inch spine, so it's a big book. Anyway, and I wrapped the spine in rice paper. If you have not seen me do that before, you can look at pretty much any of my Stamperia albums, and I will show you how to do it. But basically, it's sort of like decoupage. I just brush Stamperia Colavello or whatever decoupage glue you like on the spine and lay the rice paper on all the way around and bring it to the inside and then just go over it on the outside with the glue. So that's how I do that. Okay, so now we are going to make a tag, and I am using a Graphic 45 tag. If you do not have one of these, do not worry about it. You can just make your own. And let me give you a measurement. Let's see, where's my blue ruler? I love this ruler. It's the only one I can see. Okay. So this is 3 7/8 by, it's like 5 3/4. So you could make one, 4 by 6 or whatever size you want. So that's the size I'm using. I have also made a gusset because this, and if you've seen the walkthrough, hopefully this worked. If you didn't see it, this didn't work. I've never done it before, so we're hoping for the best. But anyway, we're going to attempt to insert this into the hinge. So this is 1.5 by 4 1/4 scored in half. And then I am just going to fold it. And I'm going to fold this in both directions. Make it nice and flexible, and I am going to trim the corners. Okay, and this is going here, and the length I cut to just sort of meet where it starts to curve. And do I want to use tape or do I want to use glue? I think I'll just use glue. I'll use tape when I put it in the hinge. Probably, maybe. Okay. So we're putting this, do I want to put it on the front or do I want to put it on the back? Doesn't really matter, I don't think. I'm going to put it on the back. Okay, so that is the back of the tag. And now I'm just going to burnish that, just wrap that around and burnish it really well because we want this to be flexible. Okay, and I have used the die, Graphic 45 die to cut out my mat. If you're making your own, just go ahead and mat it front and back. Both sides are going to be visible. I am only going to decorate the front of this, and the back will be for a photo. Alright, so that is going to be the back. And then I have this one for the front. Excuse the bright little sun splash here on my desk. It's too early. It's after 9, but I have an east-facing window, so. And this is from the back inside cover of the 12 by 12s, one of the cut-aparts. or I always call them cut aparts, but it's a fussy cut. Sorry, same thing here, but I think this was from the 8x8. And these are from the die cuts, and these are from the little flowers I've been using. I don't need any of those. This is one of the charms that came when you purchase from Scrap and Crate. You get a little mesh bag like this with charms in it. And yours may be different than mine, but you'll get some. Okay, so let's put this one on first. It's the back. And I always like to, I don't go very often to like the big box stores or whatever, but you know, if I find myself in Joann's or whatever, I'll always check to see if the jewelry making supplies are on sale. And if they are, then I'll stock up on some charms for my stash to add. Especially I like to get ones that have little pearls or jewels or something, because the ones that you'll get from Scrap and Crate are really adorable, but they're always plain. So that way the ones I buy will go well with them. You know, they'll add a little something. Okay. Okay, that's going to be the front. Am I off camera? I think I am. Sorry about that. All I'm doing is matting, so you didn't miss anything. All right, so that's the front. That's the back. Then I am going to put this. I'm not going to add a whole lot of dimension to this flap because there's a lot of dimension already going on. I think I already did that. And then depending on how this one comes out, I'm planning on doing 2 more of these. But I haven't decided if they're all going to be these tags or if I'm going to do something else. I'm leaning towards them being tags just because my intellectual acumen at the moment is a little low for coming up with new ideas. Okay. There's that. And then this, I don't think it's going to be terribly visible, but I thought I would put it down anyway. Oh, sounds like some kids are outside riding their bikes or scooters or something. Okay, now let's see. So I've got these flowers that are all part of the die cuts. So let's maybe just something like that. And you can see that teapot is rapidly disappearing, so maybe I'll only use 2 of them. And then I've got some leaves. And I had this spoon, and I really like this spoon. I'm just not sure where I could put it. Maybe like that? That's kind of cute. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so this is going in first. And I need to be careful with the glue. Sometimes I use too much. I have a page that's a teeny bit warped for that reason because I just used a little too much glue. And you can use Fabri-Tac for some things. I don't know how well it would work on this though because it's paper, but and that doesn't warp things, but okay. And then I was gonna put this one next, or just be a little more cautious than I am with the amount of glue you use. Okay, there's that. And then that. So I really don't, well, I'm just going to put the glue. I don't know how much of it's actually going to be touching. Oh, wow. See what I mean? Well, part of it too is these are shiny on the back, so the glue really seeps. Okay, and then this one can go here. Like that. Okay, that looks good. I am happy with that. And then I have a charm here that I thought I would add up there after I put the ties in. And I'm just going to use, I'm going to combine twine with baker's twine. And my baker's twine is silver and white combined. Okay, that. And let me get a bulb pin to attach that. All right, so that's a bulb pin if you've not seen one before, or a garment pin, they're also called. Let's see. Trying to decide how I want to put this on. Which direction is I want it to face. I think, okay. All right, so I'm going to put it, sorry, and it's probably going to end up backwards, but we've made the attempt. Okay. Oh. There we go. And it ended up front ways. That's a miracle. Okay, now let me show you what did I do with it. Hang on. All right, here is our hinge. The measurements will be in the cutting guide. It is 7 7/8 inches tall. I'm just rearranging a few things. Okay, 7 7/8 tall. And then you want to, it's 12 across, although you're going to end up cutting it. So, but anyway, score at 1.5. Okay. Then you're going to score after a 1/2 inch. So that'll be 2, 2.5, 3. Then you're going to go 3/4. So there's a 3/4 inch space in between. Okay. So let me just put that down. Okay. So you're at 3. You're going to go to 3 3/4. Then you're going to go 1/2, 3/4, 1/2, 3/4, 1/2, 1/2, 1.5. Okay. And then you are going to, you're not going to fold on that first score or the last score. You can cut after that, by the way. I have a whole video on how to do this, but so between these pairs, so you've got pairs of 1/2 inch, you're going to put 1/4 inch tape right close to the fold, and that's going to fold together like that. And then to make it stick, now I was out of 3/8 when I did this, although I have it now, but you're going to, in one of the, there's a pair here. In one of them, you're going to put 3/8 inch tape. I accidentally put it in both on a couple of them, but you only need to do it on one. Okay, now, the next step is going to be to get this inserted in here. Okay? And to do that, I am going to use a craft knife and cut it. So what we have, what did I do with my thing? Okay, so this is 7 7/8, right? So it is halfway is just shy of 4 inches. Okay. And then this is 4 1/4 at its widest point. All right. So half of 4 1/4 is 2 1/8. So I want, get a pencil. Thought I had one handy. Hang on. Actually, you know what? I'm doing this from the front, which is stupid. Let's do this from the back, and then it doesn't even matter what I draw it on. Okay. So I need 4 1/8. Should be, no, not 4 1/8. I need to go 2 1/8 from either side of the center point. There, underneath. So like that. That's where I need to make my cut. I'm just gonna sort of eyeball. And this is 3/4 of an inch wide. So half of 3/4 is 3/8. So I'm trying to put this in an angle where I can see it. Hang on. I can't really see that. 3/8. 3/8. 3/8. Okay. So let's give or take where I need to be. So then what I'm going to do, and I don't know yet if I'm going to do the other two, but I suspect I am. So I'm just going to transfer these marks because I think I will do all of them the same size, even if I do one that's not a tag, but, and then I need 3/8. This way I've got all my marks there when I'm ready to go. Whoops, I didn't do that very well. I think we have established that I can't really see, so. Maybe I could do it this way, it'd be easier. Just making sure those lines aren't coming through, since I had to do 5 of them or whatever. Okay, I think this will be better. Okay, so there's our lines. And I'm just going to do the first one for now, and we'll check it for fit. Now I'm using a craft knife. Please be extremely careful if you are using a craft knife. Okay, I made the cut, not very neatly, I might add. I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to make it a little wider, but I don't know. So let's just insert that. And it's not all the way in, but I think it has to be out a little in order to make that, in order to allow it to pivot. But I am going to cut this just a hair longer. I just added maybe a 1/16 of an inch. Perfect. All right. Well, I've got it all the way in and it's pivoting. No, it's coming out a little. Okay. So what I'm going to do, let's see. I am going to use score tape on this. That way, if it does prove to be, that I have to make adjustments, I'll be able to get it off. And I do have 3/8, but I'm feeling like I might need to try and decide, because I made this long just so it'd be easy to handle, but we might want to trim some of this length off after we get it settled. So I think I'll use 1/4 inch. If it works, I may use 3/8 on the next one, but for now, all right, and I'm going to put it fairly close, but not right up against that fold, because again, we may need to leave it out a little bit. I'll have a better idea after we've done it, and then you'll know. So don't follow along with me yet. And that way I can trim some of this off. Okay, so then that is going to go in there. Like that. I think I am going to do that. So what I'm, turn it over. I'm just making sure that the 1/4 inch tape is all the way through. And let's do that. How are we doing? Okay, it's going. It's not stuck or anything. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to trim some of that off. And I think it's okay. Yeah. All right. So now, all right. How are we doing for time? Okay, I got to stop my camera for a sec. What I'm going to do is decide what I think what I'm going to do is do another one of these for this one, and then we'll do something different in this middle one. And of course, you could do all three different depending what you've got, what kind of supplies you have or whatever. I will check. I know there's been some availability issues with these, but if they're back in stock, I will link them down below with all the rest of the supplies. But let me get the stuff for the other two, and we'll get those done. Okay, be right back. All right, I am back. I have picked out, I'm going to do this one real quick. I'm going to do two. No, we already did the one. We're going to do a second one like this. I haven't picked out any embellishments. But I wanted to get this one done. So let's go ahead and do that, because you just saw me do one like this, and then we'll do the other one because that one's a little different. Oh, actually, that one's a lot different. So first we are going to attach our flange. That. And then fold it over just to make sure that it's moving freely. Off camera. Okay, there's that. And then I'll do the other side. And we will come back and embellish this, but I want to get that other one done because that one's more complicated. Just a little bit. Not hard, just a little more complicated. Okay, there's that. That's going to be the third one. Now let's do the middle one. So what I have here, this will be in the cutting guide, is 4.5 by 7. You're going to score one side at 1/2 inch, trim your corners, and add tape to the front. It's going to be the front side. This is going to be the front. That's where the tape is going to go. Okay, and then I'm going to have to trim these because I changed my mind after I cut them. We're going to put a pocket on it, and this is 3.5 by 5.5 scored. Okay, and let me trim out my corners. Put that up, we can see it. It's actually hours later. Today is July 4th. And so I've been, and I took a few days off. Today's Monday. Then I took Friday off, and I have tomorrow off. So, I took a little time to have a little vacation. It's kind of nice because usually when I take days off, it's because I have to do something. Even if it's a vacation like with family or something. But this time I didn't have anything. And I didn't realize how much I needed the time. But one thing that I have been doing is spending a lot of time in my kitchen, which I like to cook a lot. So I've been doing some food prep, things for the freezer, stuff like that. Just been very nice. And that's what I've been doing that's what I did all day yesterday, all day the day before, pretty much. And no, I lie. Friday I ran errands. Saturday I did nothing. It was so nice. I just relaxed. I did a little of this. And then on today, I spent some time in the kitchen. Yesterday, I spent time in the kitchen. Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a special project at work that's going to involve some time. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. So I thought it'd be nice to have some things prepped and in the freezer. It's funny, I don't really don't talk about my channel with friends and family in real life because it's just not. Oh my gosh! 4th of July. Oh my word. Sounds like a bomb going off. This is why I don't celebrate 4th of July, in case you're wondering. Anyway. What was I saying? Totally lost my train of thought when the bomb went off. No idea. What were we talking about? I was talking about, oh, that I don't talk about my channel. Just because it's not not a particular interest to anybody. They don't do this kind of crafting or whatever. So when it does come up with people who know me in real life that I have a YouTube channel, it's so funny because almost every single time the response is, oh, is it a cooking channel? Everybody just assumes it's a cooking channel because I like to cook and everybody knows that I like to cook. So, but anyway. All right, so there's our pocket. Here's our flap. This is going to go right here, not right up against that crease because we want to have some room for the things to move. So in about 1/16, maybe even 1/8 of an inch. I'm just going to do it this way. It's a little wide. Could have been narrower, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. Now this is going to go in here, but I cut it way too long because I didn't realize I was going to put this pocket. So I just want to go cut, I don't know, some of it off. All right. Yeah, that's better. So that's going to go there. Get in there. Okay. Yikes. Okay. Go. Okay, and then on the back, I'm going to put that. And I feel like I cut it a little long. I'll trim a little bit off. Swore before this 4th of July, on last 4th of July, that I was going to get a pair of noise-canceling headphones, and I never did. Now I think I've cut it too short. Oh well, it's fine. And I like fireworks, don't get me wrong, but it's insane here. They start, as you can see, they start in broad daylight. It's nowhere near dark. It's probably 6 hours before it's going to get dark. And then they go on until after midnight. And once it does get dark, it will be constant. Like literally, there will be not even a moment break until well after midnight. So you're talking about at least 4 or 5 hours. That's a hot mess. 4 or 5 hours of constant, unrelenting banging. It's awful. There we go. Okay, so that's our second one. This is a little wider than this one, so you're going to have to cut your slit in the hinge a little wider. Okay, let me pick out a couple things to embellish, and we'll get these embellished, and then we'll put them in. I did a little tiny bit of embellishing, and that's it. I added this here, and it is a tuck. And I added these little flowers down here, and that's it. So let's go ahead and get these in. And as you can see, I've cut my slits and just, cut them, measure, cut that length, and then test fit, sneak up on it. Cut it a little short, test fit. Cut it a little more, test fit. All right. So I just put that in. And this one I've got tape on. The last one, actually I used tape for the other one too. Okay. And I think I need to trim. I'm just going to trim that little bit that's sticking over. It's right there. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, go. Okay, so we have that one, and this one needs its tape. And I'm going to use 1/4 inch and then trim because we just don't need that much. No, oh yeah, 1/4 inch. Sorry, I'm dithering. Okay. And this is going in here. That. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to trim this before I put it in because I know it's too wide, so I might as well trim it. I would say on yours, go ahead and test fit and then trim any extra. Okay, I'm happy. So far, so good. Okay, now, whoops. Boy, that was sharp. That would have hurt if that had fallen. Okay, so now we just need to create our peaks. I'm going to remove these. And I should have had only one there, but I accidentally put two. Okay. Same here. I should have only had one, but I did two. Sorry, how much of that you can see. Oops, hang on. I need to trim a little bit more of that. See where it's sticking out? Okay, that's better. Okay, so we have a flange or fin. We have another fin here, another fin here, oops, and another fin there. Okay, now I probably should have put tape on the back of this before, but I just thought of it. Okay, so what I need to do, and what you need to do, so, well, actually, no, I didn't have any choice. I kind of had to wait. You could put tape here. So I need to put tape here, and then in each of these spaces. But don't use a single piece because you don't want to put tape across these gaps. Okay? So I'm going to do that off camera and then come back and we will put this in the book. All right, I've got all the tape on. I'm out of wide tape, so basically I'd use tons of little pieces, but I would have had to use little ones there anyway. So let's get this in the book. And there is an upside down and a right side up. Okay, so this is the front. And this is there. And just getting an eyeball of where I want this. And let me see. Normally I start in the back and go to the front, but I think in this case, just because of the way I had to tape it, I'm going to go the other way. I need to move some things out of the way here. Alright, so I'm putting this centered, side to side, and top to bottom. And we have that one score line that we did not fold on. And the purpose of that score line is to help you line things up. It should line up just about with the edge of your spine. So you can kind of use that to make sure you're straight. And let me grab a pencil. There's one. Okay. So I think this looks pretty good. And I'm just drawing a line where I think I want this. And then I'm going to measure 1 1/4, 1 1/4. Okay, just to make sure I was straight. Oops. Okay, so now I know I can line this up with that line and then make sure I'm centered top to bottom, and I should be in good shape. I think I didn't cut that very straight there in the end. Hang on a second. Oh, no, it's fine. I think I just didn't score it straight. Okay. So I'm just going to remove the back of the tape just in this one little section. Make sure it's right side up, centered side to side and top to bottom. That looks good. Okay. Then you can just lift it up and make sure I got the tape off of that front. I did, the back of the tape, I should say. And just removing all the rest of this tape. I've got a little bubble there. Make sure everything's flat. Okay. And then we want this nice and flat, but we don't want to pull on it. And you know what? That does not. Now that I'm putting it down, it looks somewhat crooked. No, I'm going to go with it. It's a little high on this side as compared to that side. Not as straight as it might have been, but that's okay. Once I get the, because this will be matted right up to here, and it's pretty even in this area, so it won't be noticeable. Let's get in there. Just play with the fins a little bit, make sure they're flexible. Okay, now last thing for today is let's get the pages in. All right, this is the last page. Test fit, looks good. just going to pull back a couple of inches. We're going to leave this up about 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch. Careful that you don't get that stuck in your adhesive. Okay, and then we can use a tool, take it in there. Ooh, careful, almost scratched it. Okay, that's that one. And then this one. And same thing, get it. Whoops. And I'm just checking to make sure it's lining up with this previous one. It is. And I think we're going to have to figure out, and I think I have an idea how, that we should definitely mat these because that's way too wide to leave plain. But I have an idea of how that's going to go. So. Okay, I need to tie that. Okay, so that one goes like that. Oops, that lifted up higher than I think I want. Let me see. Okay, let me turn it around. I want it not all the way in, but that's a little bit too not all the way in. And this is why I like to use tape to put my pages in, so that if I need to, I can adjust. That's probably enough. There we go. Just let that dry for a sec. Okay, I think that's sticking now. That's good. Okay. And the last one is this one. And I'm just checking because we have so many embellishments. Yep, it's fine. Just want to make sure it's going to close. I want to show you too one other thing. Get this on, and then I'll find it. Gotta throw all of these away so that Missy doesn't get them. Missy. That's one of my cats I have not had in a very long time. Holly. Holly doesn't get them. Okay. There we go. Okay. There's our pages. Okay, so we have page 1. And that, I am pleased with how that came out. That's cute. There's room for a picture there. Pocket here. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. These flowers, and I don't have any. There's one here though. Well, that's not the same. These flowers had a big round bead in them. I pulled it off. I'm going to find a crystal or something, or some little beads, because those beads were so high when I stacked my pages to see if they would fit. It was really kind of a pain. So I took those off. Okay. So there's that. There's that. There's that. And there's that. And then we need to do our inside front and our inside back covers. Well, we have a lot to do. We have to do inside front and back covers and our outside covers entirely, and then whatever inserts we want to do, which I'm not sure how much of those I'll do on camera, just in the interests of time. All right, this is, oops, a chunky book, but that's just because there's so much space between the pages. Okay. If you wanted to make this a smaller spine, I mean, you're still going to have to make the pages, you know, the dimensions big. But if you want a smaller spine, just leave out those extras that we just put in, and then you could do it with like a 2.5 inch spine, or even a 2 1/4. Okay. All right. That is that. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and we'll keep going with this project. Don't forget to visit Scrap and Create to purchase your supplies. I'll have them linked down below, and there'll be a link down below for the cutting guide for this project. Thanks again. Bye.